We do have time to introduce a few celebrities in our audience. First, some faces I know you'll all recognize, some eminent quiz contestants. All the people in the first 3 rows of our audience tonight have all lost to Charles Van Doren. Good sports, and congratulations, folks. Next is the famous crossbreeder Luther Bottomley, who crossed a weasel and a chicken and got a dead chicken. Luther, let's hear it for Luther.
Here I am, Professor.
Where are you? Where?
Here, Professor.
If I only had my glasses, I can't see. Oh, my dear, I'm sorry. Well, you've been biting your nails something fierce.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the Groundhog Hole. I got Mr. Groundhog here, and I'd like to ask him a couple of questions. Tell me, Mr. Groundhog, do you predict 6 miserable, lousy weeks of weather ahead of us or not?
I don't know anything about the weather, Jock. I can tell you this, it's a crummy hole I live in down there. It's rotten, it's damp, the missus is about the ugliest broad I have ever...
Jonathan Winters, Madman of comedy. Jonathan Winters was born November 11th, 1925 in Dayton, Ohio. As a young man, Winters joined the service during World War II. After the war, he began his show business career on local radio. By the early 1950s, Jonathan moved to New York and started appearing in nightclubs and guest starring on early TV shows like The Tonight Show with Steve Allen. By 1956, he landed a semi-regular spot on the NBC Comedy Hour.
You know where the coffee is?
Do I know where the coffee is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to know where it is.
Well, I figured you was testing me or something, wondering whether I knew or not.
But why would I care if you knew?
Well, I don't know. I thought maybe he was one of them fellows making a survey.
Look, just tell me where the coffee is, will you?
That's on counter 7.
Oh, counter 7.
Yeah.
Is that over this way?
Yeah, I'll tell you what you do now. I'll tell you. See, you go down this way here, see? Yeah. And you come up around that aisle there. And you come down around here and make a hard right. Hi, Sonny. And you shoot around in here, see? And watch out for the fat lady and make a big turn to sweep and come right back and here it is.
The coffee's here.
Yeah. You see, I thought maybe you wanted to go down this way, though.
Oh, yeah, no, never mind.
From 1956 to 1957, Winters hosted his own 15-minute television series.
Good evening. Tonight we had a great show lined up for you, one of those really big shows. But we had to cut down on a few features to get it all in. We only have 15 minutes. Therefore, tonight on this stage, you're not going to see Mickey Mantle come out and tell us how he hopes to break Ted Williams' record for razor blade commercial.
Jonathan's hilarious appearances with Jack Parr were legendary.
And brush around.
What the heck? You see it, It's got to see it fast. Yeah. We're going to Edinburgh, and we're going to see that. And
Edinburgh?
Yeah, that's right. See get a couple of pictures and go home. That's it. Well, castle's a castle. You go in it, you go out of it.
Don't you find the British... wait, their terms.
I haven't had time.
Well, I mean things like, have you been well, they say, laboratory. They say, have you been in a laboratory yet?
I had to go twice today.
Throughout the 50s and early 60s, he also guest starred with many TV greats, including Andy Williams and Dinah Shore. In 1961, Winters even starred on an episode of The Twilight Zone, and also broke into the movies as the voice of a pig in the animated film Alakazam the Great.
Jonathan Winters is wonderful as your worst enemy.
I'll take care of him.
Lulu Popo is hilarious with the voice of Arnold Stang.
I will eat you for my lunch.
In 1963, Jonathan Winters' film career really took off with his funniest and most memorable role in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Director Stanley Kramer once called Winters the only genius I know.
my opinion, the whole world has gone mad. Wacko. Just look at the congestion on our highways. The terrible conditions of our air traffic control center.
What was that?
The wanton destruction of private property.
Guys, you're getting out of line. I'm not kidding. I've had all I can take.
They win. We're gonna have to kill them.
What in God's name is happening here?
Throughout the 1960s, Winters appeared in another half-dozen films, including the black comedy The Loved One, released in 1965.
Guys, we've just got to get organized. For God's sake, we've got to get organized.
Just don't panic. We've got to have ourselves a leader.
For God's sake, why is it we can't learn to live together?
You're right, Norman.
Jonathan's comedy scenes in the 1966 movie The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming were remembered as the highlights of the film. The 1969 release Viva Max starred Peter Ustinov and Jonathan Winters. This was the last film Winters would appear in for almost a decade. His most recent film appearances being 1979's The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh and 1994's The Shadow.
A general who can't lead and an army that won't follow are about to recapture the Alamo in the most hysterical non-war that ever rocked Texas.
No, we're closed. We're closed.
The Alamo has fallen, but the fun is just beginning.
You're not fooling me. You're working for the Chinese communists.
Who?
Maybe we could drop leaflets in Spanish, asking them to give themselves up.
Leaflets take too long to make.
Well, maybe we could get them Xeroxed. Maybe we could set up some big public address system amplified. Yeah, get someone with sort of a sexy voice, kind of a Alamo rule. Wait a minute.
Forget it.
Red for retreat, a red flare for retreat, a green flare for attack. Have you got that? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fire the green flare.
Yes, sir.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, back at the Alamo,
While Winters' movie career had its moments, it was really his television work that's dearest to his fans. His TV career was vast and varied, going back over 40 years. It included scores of network specials, 3 television series, hundreds of guest appearances, and in later years, cable TV specials and recurring roles on shows like Mork and Mindy and Hee Haw. Out of all this, it was Winters' TV appearances in the 50s and 60s that really established him as an innovative and raucous comedy star.
Friday, 6 years ago, if you want to know, I said Sandy. One little chatterbox is spinning over and overlocks to music. It's an orphan, Annie. It's just something I always wanted to do. I'm sorry.
People are saying, what's he doing, Martha? He's making a fool of himself.
His superb ability at mimicry enabled him to develop a lovable cast of characters, including the classic Maud Frickert.
Frickert again. They let me out of the home. Bless his heart, Mr. Tufflefinger. Tall man, he's too much. Big shoulders. I jumped on my motorcycle, ran through over the cemetery. Them little teenagers chopping at me. The little rubber-bladed knives tickling me in the face, but I give them a couple of... So much fun. I pulled the ear off a pussycat. But it was a phony one. Wouldn't want the ASPCA down on me. Oh, I've blown up a couple of birds, you know. They were bad birds anyway. They were taking things away from the chipmunks, and that ain't right. I put a big charge down one day. The little things come out of the sky down there.
Winter's wild improvisational humor was unequaled in the annals of TV comedy. Join us now as we look at many hysterical clips featuring Jonathan Winters in his prime, some of which have been thought lost and others not seen in years. You'll see why Jonathan's wild, uninhibited style inspired new generations of comedy stars like Robin Williams and Jim Carrey, and why he's earned the title of Jonathan Winters, Madman of Comedy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Winters. Jonathan, the whole world and everything in it can be props to trigger your imagination. But right now, we'd like to start you off with one simple thing. A pen and pencil set. Here you are. See what you can do with it.
Why, it's a casket for little ants.
Hi, folks.
Pen and pencil set.
Chapter 6. Next year, we better get in the UN or... Hard to hold, but very good.
My name's Wally Nymph, and I live here in the forest. I'm one of the wood nymphs. You shoot ink.
It's all right, Doctor. I'll take my own temperature. Never mind, never mind. 512. Keep me out of the service. Keep your hands up, Bob. Just do as I tell you. I've got all the messages in these guns. No fun being hit by paper, is it? Oh. Arrows are pretty, though, aren't they? Water skis. Ready to go up? Take me by the stands. I don't miss that chick. Sun's out. I don't need these things.
As I see it, we'll chart 2 by land, 5 by sea. We'll arrive here at this area.
What do you think, Bob? Sober up, Bob. What do you think?
Well, gee, these are good. Right after a big game like I played today, I smoke these. Why don't you try them? It's really a pen. They don't hurt you. Just make your tongue funny.
You better come out of the tree, Bobby. No kidding. Oh, I got Bobby and his sister and 2 bunnies.
Of course, you can use them just as a pen and pencil.
You know, there are a lot of situations that seem to be repeated over and over again in novels, plays, and movies. Well, somehow they never change. One scene that I get a particular kick out of is the one that always happens when a wagon train is heading west. Use your imagination. Just sort of get the picture. A wagon train reaches about halfway to California. You can bet even money that a scout is going to come riding up and warn them about the Indians ahead, the swollen river, the mountain fever. It's then that the brave band of pioneers gather around the wagon master because they've had enough and they want to turn back.
We want to turn back.
All right.
All right, settle down here. We've come to talk to the wagon master.
I'm the wagon master.
We've come to talk to you.
What seems to be the problem?
I didn't like you when we were in Boston.
What's your name, jockey?
We want to turn back.
Why? Give me a good reason.
We're
Why?
sick of you. I'm 6'8". Pick on somebody your own size.
You're sick of me, huh? Why, if it wasn't for me, the Indians would have swallowed you up a long time ago. The river would have carried you south. into New Orleans, maybe into the Everglades.
Didn't I tell you?
And shut up and look at me. These aren't your brothers or sisters. You haven't got a member here of your family, and you know that. Now sit down.
You're delirious.
Yes, that's true. Thanks, Doc.
Why are you so all fired up to get to California anyhow?
Well, I'll tell you why I'm so fired up to get to California. You didn't talk that way in New York. Because I have a wonderful friend out there, Cesar Romero.
We've got to turn back, Wagon Master. My baby's sick. What am I going to do?
How long has he been sick, my child?
For a long time.
Get rid of him.
Wagon Master,
What is it?
I'm begging you to turn back.
I hope I didn't offend you.
I'm begging you to turn back.
Give me that whip, boy. It's not yours.
My false teeth are killing me.
They are? Take mine. Now listen, folks, if there's anything that you need, just level with me and I'll do my living best. Thank you.
Wagon Master, we started out with 25 wagons. We only got 5 left. What about that?
Good arithmetic. You've been studying again, Paul. Somebody's obviously stealing wagons. And to hide them in a wagon, that's a miracle. That's all. Pray for a minute.
Why don't we settle right here?
Stand up here, boy. What's your name? Aren't you the Perkins kid?
Yes, sir.
I caught you down by the stream the other day.
Well...
With that Indian doll, right? Then the doll came to life.
Yeah.
Why did you run away with her? You're either going to stay with us or the Indians. Make up your mind. What is it, boy?
I'd rather stay with the Indians.
You would? Tear him to pieces.
My wife is real sick. She's had a high fever for 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Tom, let me level with you, boy. It's the best break that ever happened to you. Stay in the wagon with her as long as you can. When the Indians attack, we'll use her as a prop.
Wagon Master.
What is it?
I was up late last night.
Yeah?
I was up late, and I saw you riding out into the dark all alone. What are you doing out there?
I'll tell you. A lot of you folks have asked me this question. If you haven't asked me, I could see it in your eyes. Hear it in your hearts. You wonder what I do every night. Because you don't see me with a woman. Even a boy or a man. Well, I'll tell you. Stop that laughing. It's when you see me with a bear that you know I'm in trouble. Let me tell you this. You got a good question there. I went on. All right, I'm... Wait a minute. I want to get this straight.
What are you doing out there?
After I tell you, you may not want to follow me. I went out there last night with a coyote. I love to feel his hot breath against my face. That's rather normal, isn't it?
Wagon Master, what have you been putting in our soup?
Listen, boy.
The Indians are going to attack!
The Indians are attacking.
That's right. Let's get a good look at him, friends. Madam, you're Mrs. Audubon, right? Use your watercolors quickly. Well, I tell you something. Now, wait a minute, friends. Let's just keep our skulls as long as we can. Keep our minds.
How can we stop them?
Now, wait a minute. I'll tell you how we can stop them. I made a deal with the Indians.
What kind of a deal?
All I can tell you is, all they want is just one thing.
What's that?
5 minutes alone with John Wayne. Now, you get back to your wagon. Go on.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Boy, that's a 2-pound jar. Quince
Yeah, it smelled like 2 tons.
Boy, I bet that smart's done.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Boy, they'll be blue tomorrow.
You know where the coffee is?
Do I know where the coffee is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. I want to know where it is.
Well, I figured you was testing me or something, wondering whether I knew or not.
But why would I care if you knew?
Well, I don't know. I thought maybe he was one of them fellows making a survey.
Look, just tell me where the coffee is, will you?
That's on counter 7.
Oh, counter 7.
Yeah.
Is that over this way?
Yeah, I'll tell you what you do now. I'll tell you. See, you go down this way here, see?
Yeah.
And you come up around that all there.
Uh-huh.
And you come down around here and make a hard right. Hi, Sonny. And you shoot around in here, see? And watch out for the fat lady and make a big turn to sweep and come right back and here it is.
The coffee's here.
Yeah. You see, I thought maybe you wanted to go down this way, though.
Oh, yeah, no, never mind. Have you got Excelsior coffee?
Yeah, we got Excelsior. What kind?
I said Excelsior.
Oh, there's all kinds. There's regular, drip, Silex, whole bean.
Look, how do I know? My wife makes the coffee.
Oh, I see. Well, when she makes it, what she make it in?
In a nightgown.
No offense. Well, when she's making it in her nightgown, does she have a pot?
What kind of a crack is that?
No offense. I didn't mean to bother you or nothing. No. Well, when she's making this coffee and everything, there's regular, and there's drip.
Yeah.
And when it drips, it goes.
Okay, no, never mind. I'll just take
wait a minute. I tell you, maybe she boils it in one of them big glass containers. Maybe it goes.
No. Look, it's all right. I'll just
wait a minute. I know how she does it. I bet she uses a percolator. There it goes.
Well, no. Look, that's all right. I'll just take this.
Wait a minute. Tell me. What does she make it in?
She just pours the water in a cup and it goes.
Oh, instant coffee. Is this it?
Give me that thing.
I have spent my life in the study of Siamese twins. In fact, I have invited a typical pair of Siamese twins to appear on this show. I would like now to present Danny and Ian Drivencourt. Now, gentlemen, I am sure that our audience would like to hear about your lives together, with the love and true affection that only two blood brothers can experience.
Hold it, just a minute.
Yes, Danny?
You said something about love and true affection?
Yes.
No love and true affection here at all. Forget about that. Have to live with this fink? It's terrible. That's what I'll tell you. It's not easy.
I see.
There's no love here, Doctor.
Well, now let's hear from the other side. What do you have to say about that, Ian?
Well, let's face it, I think very, very definitely just resents the fact that I have the cutest head. Rather a feisty rascal, isn't it?
Well, so much for that. Now, gentlemen, let's get down to basic facts. Tell me, gentlemen, what problems do you fellows have outside of disliking each other?
Problems?
Problems.
Well, obviously, we have a couple of problems here. No, but I would say that my biggest problem is being on the phone too much.
Oh, and why is that?
Well, I'm on the phone quite a bit with our laundry trying to explain our shirts.
Yes, and I might add that I have a dreadful time of it sleeping.
Huh?
You see, Danny likes to sleep on his side. And this past evening, he turned over and I found myself 2.5 feet from the bloody ceiling. It's rather strange, really. Shut her.
You have any other problems?
Yes, I do. I would say our big problem is around about, what would you say, December 10th?
Oh, definitely. Dreadful time for us.
Because after December 10th, no one, but absolutely no one, seems to want to talk to us at all.
Why is that?
Well, how would you like to figure out what to give us for Christmas?
Yes, I see your point.
Rather frightening, eh?
Tell me, boys.
In fact, it's terrible. Shut up.
Please, gentlemen, the interview. Tell me, have you ever thought of going with a carnival or a circus?
You're putting me on.
No.
What the devil would we do in a circus?
You mean you have never had an offer from a circus?
Oh, yes, we've had innumerable offers.
Oh?
Circuses, but they have, those kind of strange people in circuses.
They're downright weird,
right.
aren't they?
Yes, they are.
We visited one time, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
The animals sort of...
Forget it. We had an offer just today, and that it's very lucrative for us. We're going to take it, too. We had a wonderful offer. We're going to be the Doublemint twins.
Oh.
Double your pleasure. Double What's the tempo? Yes, Doublemint.
That is very, very nice, boys, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Now, what do you do for fun?
For fun? Well, I suppose the most fun for us is Halloween.
Oh, really? Why?
Well, it gives us a chance to dress up funny.
I see.
Well, you see, the thing that I really get my kicks out of is just riding a motorcycle down a highway 90 miles an hour with that cold breeze hitting me right in the kisser. Right in the face, you understand? 90 miles an hour right down the highway.
90 miles an hour.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I suppose Ian rides along in the sidecar?
Sidecar? What sidecar? My brother has to learn to keep up. That's all.
I see. Well, that's remarkable.
But you've
tell
been
me,
lagging.
gentlemen.
Well, I can't help it. I just
lagging.
Gentlemen, tell me
90
one
miles
more
an hour
thing.
on my yes.
Tell me, what about your future?
Future?
Good question.
I'm very happy with the future plans. May I tell them?
Well, you might as well, otherwise we have no payoff.
I'm very proud to announce that I am going to be married this coming weekend to a very, very charming...
Well, congratulations, Dan.
Very, very charming young lady.
Won't that be a little difficult? I mean, how do you feel about that, Ian?
Well, I don't really know. It's the first I've heard of it, really. I must say this. You see, although we have two heads, we only have one heart. You see, I'm in love with her, too.
I call the deceased little boy Rollo to the stand.
Master Rollo, beachman to the stand.
Come in, Rollo. What a big boy you are.
Hey, old man.
Hello, 7-year-old.
Let my
fine
teddy sit
boy.
here first.
Well, you sit down and let me pick up your teddy bear.
See my teddy slide?
Yeah. All right, this is a court of law. Let me hold your teddy
No,
bear.
you do not hold my teddy bear.
Sit down. This is a court of law.
Listen, that's a big chair.
Yes, it is. Now, you sit back and be comfortable.
My
Turn your
teddy bear and I are in a big chair.
You're in a big chair. That's right, Rollo, and let us proceed with the trial. You must have loved your daddy. Don't do that, sonny. Just a little here.
Here to
Take a try. Tick-tock, tick-tock, sonny.
Tick-tock.
Bless his heart, what a splendid young man he is. Now, you must have loved your...
Wasn't that fun?
He likes his teddy. You loved your teddy, but did you love your father very much?
I loved my daddy. I really did. He was wonderful to me. He used to dress up just like Santa Claus, not just this time of year, but all year round and give me many, many toys. Just like my wonderful teddy bear and a real train.
Yes, and a real...
Ooh, right through the
Yes,
night.
all right, but what did you hear on the night of the murder?
I heard a terrible scream.
You heard a scream. Did you try to help your father, did you?
No, I was up and... Don't shout.
I want to shout because I want to find out everything, Rollo. There, sit up straight now. You're a big boy now.
I was up in my room screaming. So
Yes?
I waited until Daddy stopped.
Daddy stopped screaming. Yes, go on.
And I went down, and he was lying there in the library window with half of his body in the window seat, and his legs draped over, and his eyes way back funny.
What a terrible thing
He
for a
looked
boy
like
to see.
Daddy Warbuck.
Now, you answer me this. I want to ask you something, Sonny. Who did you like best, your mommy or your daddy?
I liked my daddy.
Why did you like your
Mommy,
daddy?
they're gonna get you. I told you to be good to me. All she ever did was bathe me. Bathe me and soap me and wash my hair and everything.
Your mommy kept you good and clean. To be
Yeah.
a clean little boy. Good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what were the last words you heard your father say? Do you know anybody, Rollo? Do you know anybody that would want to hurt your daddy?
I can't think of a soul, really. He was just a wonderful person. He was good to everybody except Mom. And they just didn't get along.
All right, that's unnecessary at this time. Step down, Rollo. Go ahead, Rollo. That was fine. You did
Kiss
splendid.
Daddy goodbye.
Oh.
An older man
Yes,
kissing
get
a
out.
bear.
Is to call the gardener, Fred Hazard. Will Fred Hazard please come here?
Fred Hazard to the stand.
Will you please sit down, Mr. Hazard? Apparently you're a man of the soil because you came out here with a rake.
I can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
What happened? Why can't you believe it? Were you part of this gruesome affair that has taken place? How long have you been under the Beachmont employ, may I ask?
About 14 years.
14 years.
Mrs. Beachmont, I don't know what they're doing to you.
Please sit
I don't
down.
know what they're doing to you, Miss Beachmont.
That is unnecessary. We're taking care of it. He's apparently an emotional man. Is there any water here for this young man?
I don't want to
What
touch
was your
anything.
relationship? I want to ask you, what was your relationship with Mrs. Beachmont?
Only that I loved her.
You loved her?
I thought she was the most fantastic person I'd ever met in my life. I kissed her once in the garden. Once. That's the only
You
time.
kissed her once in the garden. A very lovely garden, was it?
She fell down.
It's a very strange thing. It's a very strange thing, sir. There was no garden there.
Oh, I wish I'd known that.
There was a hothouse, but there was no garden.
I didn't know Mrs. Beachmont. I didn't know. What are they doing to us?
Ladies and gentlemen, you must try to control yourself.
I'm trying.
What were your duties exactly? What were your duties exactly? Handkerchief, please. What were your duties exactly?
I collected pretty weeds.
Nobody that I've ever heard of collected pretty weeds. Are you an agriculturist or a term retirement?
A term what?
Never mind. Step down, Mr. Hazard. It's enough.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Beachmont. Honest to Pete, I am.
Oh, never mind your declarations in the court of the symphony of the Porcupine. Get out of here.
But Joe Burns.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an eyewitness to the murder. And I know this is a bit unusual, but I would like to call the deceased's pet minor bird.
Sharky, the minor bird, to the stand.
Hello, bird. Hello, bird. Hello, big fat bird. Hello, bird. Hello. Now, Sharky, you were an eyewitness. You were an eyewitness to the murder. Tell us who murdered Mrs. Beachmont. What's that? Eddie Bird. A bird can talk better than that.
I killed him. I killed Mr.
Oh,
Beachmont.
you did kill him? You
Yeah.
killed Mr. Beachmont. How
I
did you
killed him.
kill him, Sharky? How did you kill him?
I pecked him right in the heart.
You
I
pecked him in the heart?
Yes, I pecked him in the heart.
Did he throw anything to anger you?
He threw me against the window.
He threw you
Right
against
there,
the... You'll go behind bars for this,
I'm
Sharky
behind
Bird.
bars. Right there.
Even though you're a bird, Sharky, crime does not pay, even in your birdland.
Right there. Well, we've got it. What? Where is it? Where, Sharky?
Go ahead. We've got a way to punish you, Sharky.
You have.
Sharky!
What? Where's the bird?
Meet your new roommate.
Where's the bird? Where's the bird?
5 minutes, Professor Finsterwald.
Wait a minute. I can't go on the television yet. I can't find my glasses. And if I can't find my glasses, I can't read the stupid cards. Where did I put those little kiddies? They're not in here.
Professor Finsterwald.
Yes?
Can I help you?
Yes, listen, while you're in there, working around in there, see if you can find my glasses, huh? Wait a minute. Here, I'll give you a little light.
Professor, I'm over here.
Where? Huh?
Here I am, Professor.
Where are you? Where?
Over here, Professor.
If I only had my glasses, I can't see. Oh, my dear, I'm sorry. Well, you've been biting your nails something fierce.
Professor.
Yes.
You're talking to your top coat, Professor.
If I only had my glasses, I could look for my spectacles.
Oh,
something
don't
on
worry,
my...
Professor. I'll help you find them. But first, here, let me take off your coat.
Hey, what for? Ow. It's so
Well, we
funny.
want you to look good on camera, and I'll press it for you.
You will?
Yes,
Well,
indeed.
listen, just take care of the coat. Be very careful with it.
Yeah.
It was made by the best tailor in Heidelberg.
Really? Who's that?
Hart, Schaffner, and Schultz.
Well, what happened to Marx?
Dumb cock, he forgot to close the lid on the U-boat. That's a little Heidelberg funny. Instead of that means the graham cracker goes in your ear.
Here, Professor. Here's your coat back.
Oh, really? You got it back so fast?
Yes. Well, we're very efficient in this country.
Yes, you certainly are. I'll never figure out how you lost the war. That's another funny. We're loaded with them.
Showtime, Professor!
Showtime? No, I can't go. What is it? I couldn't see nothing.
Oh, don't worry. I'll help you on stage.
Where
Come
are
on,
you?
right over here.
Where? Why would
Here
you
are.
help me here?
Here,
The
watch
stage-
it here now.
Huh?
There's a big step. Just step
Big
right up here.
step? What a funny
There you
way
are.
to get to the
And
stage.
now, this is it right here.
Are you
Now,
sure?
walk straight ahead.
I have the feeling that I'm going to die.
Keep your head low right here.
Oh, I wish I had my spectacles.
You don't need them. You would have broken them anyway.
If you look around a small town, there are certain things that you're bound to see. For instance, there's always a town square. And in it, usually a monument of a native son, a statue, somebody who's gone on to win fame and fortune. A man like General Hoppin' Mad Hooterton, the old Indian fighter.
That's right, that's my name. General Hoppin' Mad Hootin'. Yes, sir, I remember only too well, back here in 1870. The Indians tagged me the old Indian fighter. And that's all I ever fought was old Indians. Oh, you pick on them young fellas, they beat the right out of you. Yes, sir, I used to love to attack them while they was laying out there on the blanket sunning themselves. That was fun, you know, run around on their little body. Yes, sir, I remember that's how I come to get this statue. The Indians gave it to me, as a matter of fact. I remember they was doing a little dance around me one day, jumping up and down. There was a medicine man. He throwed some stuff on me. They called me, what was that name? Wanuka-Poo. I think that was it, Wanuka-Poo. And they throwed that stuff on me, and then the Indians, they'd sprinkle a little water on me. And something happened to me. I don't know what it was. But finally, one Indian turned up and he said, "Stand there until that cement hardens, paleface."
Great talker, the general. Too bad the Indians weren't better listeners. Now, there's somebody else that I'd like very much for you to meet. A man looked up to and idolized by every boy. And I mean the high school coach, Biff Scruggs.
Oh, hi there. You got me looking in my locker. My name's Coach Biff Scruggs. I was never cut out to be a coach. They pulled me out of home economics class. I was having such a wonderful time, you know, making little goodies and brownies and pies, cookies, things of that nature. And then they made me a coach. I know that when I was down in the locker room, you know, diagramming some plays here on the board, I never wanted to do them plays. I always wanted to, you know, make little birds and bunnies and pussycats. And guys always snickered and booed. And then one day, the big homecoming day game for Weaver Falls, I'll never forget that. I told Orville Sufferton to get out there. He was one of my backs. And I said, "Get out there, Orville, and try that naked reverse." And you know, he was down to his shorts before we could stop him. Terrible, terrible. We got a lot of letters on that. Well, I don't know. It's just one thing after another. And then there was the big, there was a dual track meet between the girls and the boys, the Bertha Quimby School for Girls. And I stood there and they were kneeling, you know, and getting ready to go, and I went, shot a bird. And they started, and they ran. And they ran off together, and I have never seen them since. If there's anybody out there in television land with, like, a good home economics teacher, I make a whale of a plate of fudge.
Great guy, the coach, and a real nut on physical fitness.
Here, think back, boy.
Oh, here, Coach. Oh, I'm sorry, Coach. Well, none of us are as sharp as we used to be. No, I take that back. This next neighbor is just as sharp and just as spry today as she must have been on her wedding day over 50 years ago. Maud Fricker.
Oh, hi, honey. Oh, gee. Yes, sir. It all started way back a long time ago when me and my brother, Lamar Jean, started the first airplane. Oh, isn't that precious? I'll never forget one day he come up to me and he says, Maudie? And I says, yes, Lamar. That's all I could say. He said, I want to fly today. And I says, sure you do, Lamar. He had a funny sense of humor. We went out back and went up there toward Willard's Bluff, and he walked up to a groundhog, and it was funny. It was long about the middle of July, and he'd say, hi, Mr. Groundhog, it's the 1st of February. Had a funny sense of humor. Then he'd walk up to a cow and say, hi, Mr. Fox. We kept him cutting the grass a lot. Well, this one day he says, I want to fly. I want to fly, Muddy. I said, don't repeat yourself. Go ahead, fly. There he stood up there, handsome man. Had shoulders on him, wouldn't quit. Little teeny waist, about 10. He was wrapped in elephant skin until he was 12. So he stood up there and he says, I'm going to fly. And he taped about 175 pigeons to his arms. Then he got a running start, and he was airborne for about 16 seconds. And then some kid from out of nowhere throwed a bag of popcorn in a stone quarry, and he bashed his brains out.
Did you ever notice in a small town how many folks tend to look alike? Now, this next fella... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Maud.
Andy, I've told you about this, catching me undressing. I'll get you for this. I ain't a kidding.
Well, now, every small town has a character like Elwood P. Suggen. Now, we haven't seen each other in...
Oh, it must be a good 12 years now. Salt of the earth, old Elwood. Give you this shirt right off his back. Hi, Elwood.
Hi, Andy. Hi. I want to give this to you so bad.
Told you he's that kind of fella.
Boy, you're good to get out of all them clothes. Yes, that's right. My name's Fire Chief Elwood P. Suggins. And I used to be fire chief this here town. Notice I says I used to be, till they found out who was setting all the fires. Well, I tell you, a strange thing I did a lot. Well, I tell you one funny thing happened to me. One time, what I was going to do is I was going to set fire to the firehouse. And, well, I tell you, the guys was getting so bugged they wasn't getting any fires. And they was just sitting around, you know, playing checkers and finger painting. And so they was getting bugged. So I decided I wasn't going to hurt them. Don't misunderstand. I was just going to set fire to the firehouse. And what I did before I did that, I took a whole big fistful of lard and I greased the pole real good like. And when they come down, hit hard, oh, they're still wearing their sneakers up around here. Well, then we was playing around there on our little catch net. You know, we catch folks in from time to time, catch a lot of things in it. And we strengthened the canvas here a couple of days back real tight, so we made it sort of a trampoline. And we bounce up and down in it, you know, and have fun. So we got a 3-alarm fire call, and back teeth is all broke off. But we went out there at the mayor's house, and he was standing there up on his house in his robe, had a little terracotta robe on, and the place was all aflame, and I says, jump, Your Honor, jump. And I held a card up, and I said, jump, then he could understand. So he jumped, and he ricocheted right out of that thing, right in the sky. We've never seen him since. I don't know where you are, Mr. Mayor. You'll never, your services are dead down in this town, but just keep in mind, you're our only one and only. Gee, isn't it amazing when everything gets all... We was playing marbles, and they all got caught in there, and you're supposed to put them in a chamois bag. So, I don't care what you say, Mr. Mayor. You're our only UFO. God love you.
Well, in your opinion, about Americans, how are we different when you see us on the street? Are we really different?
Well, I think for one, you walk very differently. We walk considerably slower. They seem to
So do the Americans walk like a large Kodiak bear. Lumber along, see, and yet they walk extremely fast.
Some of the British skip down the street, I've noticed. Some of the men.
There are strange people everywhere, aren't there?
We have an American, I believe, over here. Come in, please. Going to have a little talk here. You are an American, aren't you?
You better believe it, buddy. From Tiny Rock.
Tiny Rock.
Tiny Rock, South Dakota.
I see. Well, have you had a good time here in England?
You're Jack Farr, aren't you?
Yes, sir, I am.
See you on TV in the mess. Margaret, Jack Farr. I'm on the Jack Farr show.
All right, just look at that camera, please.
Oh, yeah.
Well, have you ever tried living in with an English family just to get the feel of
What
the
are you
country?
talking about? I'm married and got 7 kids.
No, I was not referring to that kind.
Oh, you mean visiting a family? Oh, I wish you'd put it that way. Yeah, we thought about it, but we're with a tour, and we got to stick with a tour in the hotel and everything.
Yeah. Well, you think you'd like the British?
Oh, it's okay.
How are they different than us? Because you see, I'm an American. You never would have known that, would you?
No, I wouldn't have. What, Cor, what are you kidding me? I know you was in the States. You said that on your program.
Oh, I see. Then
They talk funny. Hi, old fella. You know, they say, hi, how's it going? Top of the day to you. And ta-ta, cheers and stuff like that.
Have you ever heard TTFNN?
No, what's that?
Ta-ta for now.
That's kind of wild, isn't it? Hey, Margaret, here's that one. We've been here about 6 hours. The sun just broke out.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand it here. I'd die.
They've had sun twice this year now.
Is that right?
Yes.
Better get a picture of it. Huh? I got one, Margaret.
Well, what are you in America? I can't tell whether you're high class or low class.
Middle class, you might say.
Well, mostly middle class.
I'm folks.
Are you folks?
I got 2 moving vans and 116 guys under me. I think that's folks.
Oh,
That's a lot of folks.
Yeah.
And you get them mad and they go on strike, they can beat the life out of you.
Would you like to live in England?
Well, I could stand it here for a couple of days, maybe a week at the most.
Yeah.
I like Paris a lot. They jump up and down, a lot of the girls, you know.
You like the girls?
Yeah, I was there in the first war, and they were just as crazy.
Not the first war.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't be.
You'd be surprised. You know how old I am?
How old are you?
68 years old.
I would never believe it.
I haven't touched my hair either.
You haven't?
Not a line on my face, is there? That's a good, hard life, driving a moving van ever since I was 12.
Yeah. This American here is very interesting. You tell me now, you've seen how many countries?
We've seen 10. We've seen, there's 10 on a tour. We've seen 4 in over 7 hours.
4 in 7 hours. What's this afternoon?
Well, this afternoon we're going to Scotland, Ireland, and Wales in about 2.5 hours.
You can't possibly see a country.
I have to see it. That was the way the tour was sold to us. The whole thing in about 16 hours. The whole thing was less than a day. The whole tour. Because I got a business back home. My brother-in-law will just cheat me blind if I don't get back.
That's a pity. I mean, to come over here and rush around.
What the heck? You see it, you see it. It's got to see it fast.
Yeah.
We're going to Edinburgh, and we're going to see that. And
Edinburgh?
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Get a couple of pictures and go home. That's it. Well, a castle's a castle. You go in it, you go out of it.
Don't you find the British... wait, their terms.
I haven't had time.
Well, I mean things like, have you been well, they say, laboratory. They say, have you been in a laboratory yet?
I had to go twice today.
You haven't had any upset tummy or dysentery?
Oh, are you
dysentery
kidding? I'm sicker than a cob. I haven't been able to keep a thing down. I'm just drinking this magnesia. I don't know what it is. It's green and gray stuff, and I just pour it down me, and it just coats the whole body.
Yeah. Well, now,
I've eaten celery, that's all.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm coming, Margaret, I'm coming.
Well, TTFNN, that's ta-ta for now.
You know what we say?
What?
TFS, that's for sure. That's a live one, ain't it? Huh?
Yes.
See you around, Jack.
Yeah.
Have a lot of fun.
See you back in
I
the
really
States.
enjoyed it. Bye there, Freddie, Tom, Margaret, and Toad.
I accept that for Johnny. He's the most inventive man I've ever known. That was, not that it was any great act. I mean, together, it was not. Johnny has the most incredible ability to answer a question in any character that he goes into. I think he's America's greatest comedian. And now, please be nice to him because he might be somebody's mother. Johnny Winters!
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's always nice to hear applause. And at home, of course, I only have three of us at home, four, including myself. And, of course, the applause is small, you know. Boys, 13 still talks like that. But then what can you expect? I talk that way. He looks at me. Look at Daddy. And a kid with him, you know, and run out. Of course, it's getting to be that time of year to run outside. And spring, I guess it'll be about 3 weeks, and little flowers will be popping out of the ground. You see strange people. But speaking of spring, I'd like to introduce you to a door-to-door salesman. I guess most of you housewives contend with those fellows from time to time. We have all types. The fellow knocks on the door.
Hello there. I'm sorry, Captain. I sell these things. Where if you take a look at these,
And naturally, this guy never gets inside. Then there's a fellow who's terribly shy and knocks on the door. Hello? I am very, very new at this. I was wondering, would you care to... I've forgotten the outfit I'm with. I'd like to introduce you to a very unusual door-to-door salesman. I call him the salesman of 1964 with that new approach. Oh, I'm starry-eyed and vaguely discontented, like a nightingale without a song to sing. Ba-ba-ba-boo-boo-boo. Wonder where that chick is, boy. Sneak around here and look in the window. Sorry, officer, I was just seeing if the little lady was home. I'm not a peeping Tom. I'm not. You have a badge. You're allowed to look. Hello there. I'm Willard Cratchlow. I'm with the Incredible Wax people. Boy, you're some else. Just stand there in that doorway, will you, honey? Wow. Hey, neighbors, take a look at this chick, huh? Wow. Listen, please, I don't mean to be fresh. I'm brand new at this job, and I haven't seen anybody quite like you. I'd love to get a picture of you if I could, huh? Just that door kind of frames you, sort of like a John Singer Sargent. Well, he was a painter, that's all. Just hold it right there. Wait a minute. I want to get the whole thing. Great, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here it is. That's you. Just your legs. Can we go inside? Thanks. You got a crazy little pad here. Boy, I tell you, I just... Is that your little boy?
Hi there, little fella.
How about some candy? There's a buck kid running around the block. Say, how's chances of kind of killing some of the blinds, huh? I'm with the Incredible Wax Company, and I'll just... some of the wax I've got here. Put this on your table. Take a look at it. See how you can see your face in there. Look at it. Hey, come here, Sonny. Here. You're back again, huh? I'm going to play a little trick with him. Whee! Got high ceilings. Got him, huh? I tell you, I want to... I'm sorry. You sit in a car for 16 hours, you get that way, honey. You knocked my teeth out. What did you do that for? I just told you, I've worked 2 years in my outfit to get new teeth. What kind of chick are you, anyway? Holy cow. That's no way to act. Just one more kiss, huh? Okay? Come on, don't be afraid. Hold me, honey. That's enough. I'll see you now. Crazy. Oh, incidentally, that isn't just every customer that I ran into. That was my wife.
It was a chicken. And, of course, an elephant throwing a young man against a mountain. This is a bug. Or a lizard. Eating a bug. Then you have a mongoose who's tired. Or a turtle. Right now you're saying, what in God's name is going on? But these are things I've always wanted to do. I could never do them as a child. I'm 38 years old. And I just wanted to make a complete fool out of myself. I think I could. Well, as you can see, these are some of the things we didn't plan, right? Well, Art Carney and I each have a table full of wigs here and things, beards, and we're going to do little improvisation. So, will you go along with us? Artie?
Dad, do I have to go out and play baseball? I'd rather play the piano.
Let me tell you something, Billy. We don't live in a very fun neighborhood. Look what those kids did to my head. They pulled out most of my hair. I don't find your friends very funny. Listen, let me tell you something. That hair, can't you cut it a little?
You're my father. I got it from you.
You know, your mother had hair like that one. That's why I took her through the pass.
Oh, how sweet it is. I want to tell you something. Oh, tonight, this caterpillar won't stay on. I want to play some of my magical tunes through this unusual horn.
All right, where'd you hide my teddy bear?
I didn't hide your teddy bear. I killed it.
Mr. Winters, it's such a pleasure being on your show. We used to have so much fun on the Jack Parr show together.
How are things over in England?
Very good, thank you.
Is the situation changed a great deal?
Yes.
Have you ever
and
seen the
no.
Queen? Have you ever seen the Queen?
What?
What is she like?
She's a queen. But I just wanted to know one question. Why is everybody laughing so? I don't think it's particularly funny thing.
Being a queen?
Dad, do I have to go out and play baseball? I'd rather play the piano.
I feel kind of silly going out there with you. Oh, your mother kisses hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the Groundhog Hole. I got Mr. Groundhog here, and I'd like to ask him a couple of questions. Tell me, Mr. Groundhog, do you predict 6 miserable, lousy weeks of weather ahead of us or not?
I don't know anything about the weather, Jock. I can tell you this, it's a crummy hole I live in down there. It's rotten, it's damp, the missus is about the ugliest broad I have ever... Now my flute whistle, I shall play.
Oh, you still out there?
This growth has got to be cut out.
There it is, San Francisco. I thought we'd never see it.
Santa Claus, don't make fun of me just because I'm a one-eared reindeer. My grandmother ran off with a wolf. Would you dance with me?
You mind this greasy kid stuff?
You did a wonderful job with the airplane, Wilbur. Now let's see if we can fly. I flew the mail in, Captain, but it's all wet. You forgive me? The mail's wet?
Yeah.
I couldn't care less.
I got nothing left but a glass of water. Look at my hair.
It's just all over me. What am I going to do, Fred?
You want it full on
I
the
can't
sides?
go to the ball this way.
You're not going to the ball that way. Full on the sides and loose on top? How about a nice muff?
Made out of human hair. Good. Savages that I captured.
That's right.
That gave up from the National Geographic expedition.
Let's drink to the cat we put in appendix.
I think they're going to be in the nuclear reaction.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Go ahead. Here's a buck with a neon truck. Oh, you won't believe it.
Over and sit down for a while, Bob. Rest. You'd say that to Henry Fonda, wouldn't you? Have a chair, Mr. Fonda? They never say that to me. They always say, hey, Winters, sit down. Funny, you can always tell superstars how they're treated. Can we get you anything, Mr. Fonda, please? Are you going to be all right? No, we'll have your car waiting for you. I complain, but not really. I'm glad I'm doing this.
Can we close your eyes?
Could have been in Columbus, Ohio.
If it doesn't break, what do we do?
And went into them.
You got a pin?
They're cheer for Springfield.
Coat hanger?
For Springfield. I was in Columbus 2.5 years. I went in and I said, hey, can you give me $5 more? I'm married and got a kid. Geez, we just don't have it. $2. Then I went to New York, 1953. They said the same thing. Where are you from, boy? Well, they didn't say it that way. Hey, where are you from? I said, I'm from Ohio. Jeez. Oh, they said, you'll never make it here. You better go back. I said, no, I'm staying. No chance of your scoring. Stayed there 11 years. It was like doing time. Then I came out here to smell the cones and the trees and the buffalo. Out here 8 years. I love a good earthquake. Hey, baby, the place is really moving. No, I dig it out here, man. People say, I love the cats from the East always say, geez, there's too many kooks out there. I love kooks. See, I spent 8 months in an institution, so if you see me a little temperamental at times, I've made baskets. Remember, I could jump on you and choke you, and you'd be wearing that foam permanently. So when you see, it's a better understanding you have now, all the people around here of myself, because you're dealing with a former mental patient. I'll tell you an experience, too, is watching television in a mental institution. That's an experience. Patients like this. But great comedy shows it. Not very much different from watching them in a motel with a chick, you know. I feel real good now. I know my name, I've got an air travel card, and I get to Vaughn's. So that's all I care about. I have a suit of clothes, and I know where my house is. What the hell else do I do? Go to the bank, cash in a little bread, you know. I don't care how crazy I am. I have people every day say, you're crazy. And it's always fun to have the guy that's telling you that you're crazy. Sit with him, interview him for about 20 seconds. I had a guy in a parking lot the other day scream at me. I just looked at him. I said, you know, when I get in my car, I could run over you in your booth. I gave him a full dime. It was his tip. I'd been there 5 hours. I shook him a little. I was gonna run over him in the booth. Yeah, you don't do that. Does that mean I have to go back? No. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Doesn't work. 60 seconds. It's a gas. Larry, no. Let me try something. No, stand here under the lights.
Oh, no! Oh, crap. I shot Big Boy in the ass.
Oh, Meredith, I think you're mistaken. I hadn't planned on doing it. I ain't down yet here.
Well, why not, Dinah? It's your latest hit record. I know everybody would love to hear it.
Well, I know you just want another chance to yell author, don't you? That's
Oh,
what you
no,
want.
no, I'm not thinking that at all. That's not the reason.
I know. Look, honey, I would love to. You know I love that song.
I know.
I have done it 4 times on the show already. I just couldn't do it again. I'd love to, but I can't.
All right, Dinah. But my agent isn't going to like it.
Oh,
and that spells trouble.
Where is he?
Here I am, Marty.
Meredith, I'd love you. I haven't seen you. Carrying a pint on you.
Now, Marty.
We're kidding, Meredith. It's a nice 25.
Dinah, I'd like you to meet my agent. This is Marty Frickett from Mason City.
How do you do,
Hey, honey.
ma'am? I think it's ma'am.
I hope it is. I hope Meredith ain't been no trouble to
Oh,
you, has
not
he,
a
honey?
bit. He's been wonderful. You've been a good boy, Meredith.
Every goodie. Say, listen, has he played the spoons for you yet?
No.
Hasn't he?
No, he hasn't.
Listen, did you bring your musical saw like I told you?
No.
Oh, it just tears your heart out when he plays that saw that... and the whole porch comes down. Yeah, don't it, Meredith?
He didn't do that.
Remember the little cat that cut...
What did he
no
do?
tail on it.
No tail?
No tail on it. It was a manx.
Oh, I see. What does he do for an encore?
He writes the sweetest music this side of Irving, Berlin,
Oh,
honey.
he does?
Oh, you should have. Have you heard his latest?
Oh, well, which
No,
one
it's
is it?
from A Down.
Yes, I heard that. It's
Your
a
voice
lovely-
is deep.
Marty, I tell you, though, it's
Don't touch me unless you love me.
Marty, I love you, you know.
That's your bit.
Marty, I tell you, though, it's no use because Dinah won't do the song.
Hold your tongue, boy. That's what you got an agent for.
Now, look, Mrs. Frickett.
Everybody calls me Marty.
Listen, Marty.
Struggling for a line.
No. Listen, Marty. He's right. I can't do the song tonight.
In that case, call me Mrs. Frickett.
You see, Dinah, what trouble you got me into, Marty. I told you that she would not do the song.
I told you to hold your tongue. Now that's what you got an agent for. Little honey baby, itty bitty poo.
Oh, that's all right. No.
Well, now listen, I understand it's your show, honey, and everything, and
no.
you do just as you darn please.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Shucks, Marty.
Hold your tongue, boy. That's what you got an agent for.
Yeah. Well, it's just that, you see, he's a little eager, honey.
Oh,
Today is Meredith Wilson Day back there in Mason City.
My.
Oh, I wish you could see
Oh,
it,
I
Dinah.
wish I could.
Molly Brown Mountain, all them little children up there.
Isn't that one?
Singing and jumping up and down.
Oh.
Got that...
He knows it well, doesn't he?
Thank you, honey. And all them little kids, them flaming torches, you know.
Oh, my,
and
that sounds dangerous.
Well, it is when they get close to the gas station. There they go. Then comes the Mason City All Brass Ladies Band. They're just...
Kind of grows on you, doesn't it?
You don't it, though? It's just all... We've come very attached. Listen, honey, Dinah, baby... I tell you, I don't want you to let us down now. All them folks are waiting back in Mason City. You ain't going to let us down. Let him do the number, please. Put my
Mrs. Frickett,
fingers
please,
right
please,
through my eyes. Sexy, I guess.
I wish you wouldn't cry. Let me help you. Please, if you don't cry. I just can't stand here.
Please.
No, I can't stand. No, I'll do it. I'll sing it. It's all right.
Oh, wonderful. You made an old lady feel young again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, you did.
Oh.
Now, shape up or ship out, Mary. I'm going to sing that song and get the check, incidentally, before you cut.
Get the check.
Give me that check.
Our guest today is the man known to women everywhere as the world's greatest lover. So come on, girls. Let's give him a big welcome right now. Here he is, Mr. Lance Loveguard.
All right, girls, back in the truck where you belong. Hello, sweetie. Are you in love with me, baby? Get a good look. How about it? Wasn't that a thrill in itself? Am I just sitting down there beside you?
Yes, of course, Mr. Loveguard, of course. Now, Mr. Loveguard, now,
Are you a phys ed teacher?
I beg your pardon.
I don't know why you're dressed like one.
Yes, of course.
Sure, you
now,
haven't blown up any basketballs or something.
Mr. Loveguard, if you don't mind, we don't wear...
Don't look in my eyes. You couldn't stand the thrill, sweetheart.
Well, I'm sorry. Now, Mr. Loveguard, on this program, if you don't mind, I have some questions here that
Shoot, baby, shoot. Lay 'em on me, baby.
Yes, sir. I have some questions I'd like to ask you for the girls out there in the audience.
Girls out there, hi, babies.
Mr. Loveguard, as the world's greatest lover, what one quality do you always look for in a woman?
Well, first of all, she must be living. Wild, frivolous, gay, stupid.
Yes, but the ideal woman must have certain desirable features.
Yes, she must have that. The ideal woman must have the lips of Sophia Loren, the fingers of Jane Fonda, and the feet of Minnie Mouse.
But what about her mind?
I go where the action is, sweetheart. Stop trying to look under my glasses. Get away from me. I get dizzy and go out of your skull.
Yes, sir. Whatever you say, Mr. Loveguard. Now, look, if you don't mind, I have a few more questions. Some of them are a little personal.
What? Yes.
Would you mind telling the audience, and just be frank with us now,
Sure.
how many love affairs have you really had?
Let's see. About 289,000, if somebody hasn't tinkered with my IBM machine.
289,000, Mr. Loveguard. How could you possibly have had that many romances?
Well, for the last couple of years, I've been working stadiums.
But, Mr. Loveguard, 289,000 love affairs, really?
Well, what do you want from me? Till I was 25 years old, I was a sissy.
But really, how could you possibly go from affair to affair? Now, there certainly must have been hard feelings when you'd break up a romance.
Never. I always say the right thing and they go away without any trouble.
What in the world could you possibly say to those women?
Hi, honey, I got the mumps.
Mr. Loveguard, your arrogance is absolutely disgusting.
Go easy on me, sweetheart. This is a benefit.
Do you mean to tell me that you've never met a woman that you couldn't win?
Never. When I see a woman that makes my heart go thump, thump, do I waste my time sending her flowers and spending a fortune on her? Do I write her poetry, sing romantic songs under her window? I do not. I merely walk up to her and present her with this card. Read it, sweetie.
Kiss me. I'm the world's greatest lover. Don't make me look bad. This is ridiculous. Do you expect me to believe that women fall at your feet because of that stupid card?
It's a pretty card, ain't it? First the card and then the coup de grace, my hot zap look.
Your what?
My hot zap look. No woman can resist it.
Well, I can resist your hot zap
Easy,
look.
baby.
You're
Easy.
a phony. That's what you are. You're a hot zap look.
How about that, baby?
It doesn't get through
Look
the
at
door.
those big, brown, pearly eyes, huh?
Doesn't mean a thing.
The whole nation's being dissolved.
I'm looking right into your hot zap look. Your hot zap look doesn't mean a thing.
Are you crazy?
I tell you what you can do. You can
Don't touch
kiss
me,
one
baby.
eye, kiss
Easy,
the other eye,
easy.
kiss both eyes.
What?
Just kiss
What are you?
Kiss both eyes. Kiss the whole
Where's
thing.
my manager?
The whole thing.
Cut it out,
Kiss
baby.
one eye.
This is Captain Harold Quimby. He has been a commercial airline pilot for 28 years. He is before a board of inquiry who will decide in the next few minutes whether or not he is still fit to continue as a pilot. That is why this man is a man under pressure.
All right, this hearing will now come to order. Now you realize, Captain Quimby, that the purpose of this hearing is to determine whether you will be allowed to continue flying. Our decision, of course, will be final.
Is that understood, Quimby?
Sir, sir.
How did you get into this business, Quimby?
Well, I just love to make model airplanes. I suppose that was the first thing I did. I just loved to make them, and like any normal child, and I got excited. I read a lot of aeronautical magazines, and...
Relax, Quimby.
Sorry.
All right, you're flying.
I'm trying to. It's not easy, sir. I mean, this is the first time in my life I've ever been called up in one of these darn things.
How long have you been flying?
Huh? 41 years.
How old are you?
41 years. 41 years of age.
I see.
All right, Quimby, here's a sample situation. Let's see how you handle it.
Yes, sir.
You're flying at 25,000 feet. The right starboard engine flames out. Your oil pressure is dropped below 2,500 cubics. What's your first move, Quimby?
Well, first thing I would turn automatically to the co-pilot and get his reactions.
The co-pilot?
The co-pilot, the man, the assistant, the man that it takes two of us to fly.
What do you do then?
It takes two to tango, right? Well, it's the same thing in the air. See, I would turn to him and ask him if he could help me, because it's not always up to me. I'd certainly never ask a stewardess.
Quimby.
Yes, sir.
Do I smell whiskey on your breath?
Well, I had a drink coming over, and I'll live it with you. I'll live it with all three of you. I drink, yes. Always to and from the airport.
Not while you're flying?
Never while I'm flying. No, sir. No, sir. I've turned around and stared.
Are you swaying a little?
Yes, a little. Yes, I'm terribly nervous with that. I thought for a minute it was a quake.
Quimby.
Yes, sir.
Quimby, on a recent flight from Los Angeles to New York, you were flying a Jet 707 and you never landed.
No.
Now, what became of that aircraft, Quimby?
I gave it to my boy.
Quimby?
Yes, sir.
Did you take your hat off a moment?
Yes, sir.
You dye your hair?
I did for the dance, that was all.
Quimby, I understand you had quite an unusual reaction to your tetanus shot.
Yes, I did.
What was it?
My head started to swell, and then it went into my feet. I was almost scheduled to be in the Thanksgiving Day parade.
That's not funny, Quimby.
Now, Quimby, perhaps you can explain this.
Yes, I'll try to.
You were on the New York to Chicago run last week, and you went 600 miles off course. How come?
Well,
It's not funny, Quimby.
Right? We followed a Canadian goose, and who was it? How did I know?
Quimby.
Yes, sir.
I understand you've got quite a taste for liquor. Let's just make sure and place a glass of whiskey and gin in front of you. How does that affect you?
Look over there, 707. I was kidding.
What happened to the whiskey?
I don't know. Maybe somebody. I was kidding. It was just a thing.
Did you drink it, Quimby?
Yes, I did. I'm entitled to it. I'm not flying now,
All right,
sir. I'm
you're
not
on.
flying now. Give me a phone, will you? What are you guys? What is this? Some kind of communist trial or something? I'm just a normal American pilot.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
51.
How old?
38.
How are your nerves, Quimby?
Great. Ah!
All right, Quimby.
What?
What's your favorite view when you're flying west?
Just the whole thing. Everything in America.
Give us a sample of what you say over the intercom when you fly over the Grand Canyon.
Sure you can't understand it. If you can tell them, they scare them to death.
How old are you?
31.
Quimby, supposing you're informed in mid-flight that one of your passengers is about to have a baby aboard, what would you do?
I really don't know offhand. Not being a doctor, I'm a pilot. I think I'd go probably circle for an hour and hope that she got over it.
Quimby, what does the phrase fasten your seatbelts mean?
Means nothing to me. I haven't been able to get one around me for years. Why, it means of course, you know what it means. It means it's part of our safety program. That's Article 16, page 48.
Would you excuse us a moment, Quimby?
Sure.
I don't know. I don't think he can hear. I don't know. The problem is
Yes, all right.
Captain Quimby.
Yes, sir.
We've tested you and put you through your paces.
Yep.
We've decided to let you continue flying.
Oh, jeez. Bless you.
As a stewardess.
I'm 62 years old. I'm not going to shave my legs, gentlemen, for anybody. A friend of mine, Charlie Schultz, wrote a book about a child's idea of happiness. I love it. I think you will, too. Because in it, I think Charles found what happiness is all about. Happiness, well, happiness to adults also. They have their own brand of happiness. As for myself, happiness is coming home, opening that door, and kissing my wife, Eileen. Or our dog, Maud, and my boy, Jay. He'll be 14 this month. Talking about that tree house that we're going to build come next spring. He's a big boy, and he's a good boy. Playing football, he throws a pretty mean pass. I have trouble catching him. Or just in the quiet of an afternoon, looking out. My little daughter, Lucinda. She can be a tough audience at times. We're helping Jay with his tie, getting ready for church. And then in the kitchen, sneaking that extra hot dog that I shouldn't have. Or just sitting around in the living room, talking with the family about a lot of things. Lucinda, and Eileen, and Jay, and me. And the four of us on the stairs. Or sneaking down at night to get a little chicken, a little cold fried chicken. Just being around the house. Winter set. And walking up that long stone path, Jay, Lucinda, and myself. Well, that's about it. There's a special kind of happiness for everyone, the young and the old. But perhaps the most special kind of happiness is the happiness of thankfulness and the happiness of hoping that during this past hour, I brought a little happiness to people like you. Good night, everybody.